Jack Links presents Messing with Brock Squatch.
What did we do?
Brock Squatch.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, it's a brand new day in the man cave, and no one is happier about that than our man in the back row, Todd Fritz. Fritzy, have you recovered from your disastrous Tuesday?
Disastrous Tuesday. Yes, I feel good. We got back on track. I didn't have the full guest list that I like to help deliver when we come in the morning. We had David Robinson to lead things off, and then we added upon that as the morning progressed. But I was able to get things behind me, get some sleep, and feel refreshed for Wednesday.
He's back. There seems to be something that's providing you with some stress relief. The new pool table. This is you before the show doing something that you used to, playing with yourself. Seton, you said these new toys in the man cave are starting to be a problem. Why is that?
Because Dan's getting annoyed with us. It's sort of like business as usual here in Milford when Dan fills this place with all kinds of new toys that he wants us to use, but he doesn't really want us to use them. So right now Dan's already annoyed with us for the pool table that he put in.
Yeah, Dan likes to give us really nice presents and then say, well, don't use them. Just, enjoy getting them. And the other interesting thing was Fritzy playing pool before the show. When he had one, I would love for Nate Silver, is that the stat guy, McLovin?
Yeah.
To do a study on Fritzy. Words said pre-show by the number of guests booked, because Fritzy was like a mute this morning. And then he went and played pool by himself just to be away from us.
That would be an interesting stat. I do tend to get a bit on the quiet side when we don't have a full chalkboard over there, but we'll keep working on that. I started to speak once things started getting more into place, and we added Millar and Florio. But the key is to kind of be the same every day with the level of communication. Maybe another 3-4 years or so we'll get there.
Probably not.
Or not.
Well, you were a little gun-shy to speak on the show after your terrible Tuesday, but you mustered up the courage and got after it early in the show.
Stoppage time, I should know what. Wait, how much time? I don't know. Yes, Fritzy.
I hate that. I don't need the mystery of trying to figure out while I'm watching how many seconds left. Since growing up, it's all about the countdown, 10, 9, 8 in any sport down to 0, waiting till the end to find out how many extra minutes they're going to throw up there, and all of a sudden it just ends.
Thank you, Fritzy. Dan Patrick Show brought to you. Was that your take?
That was my take.
All right, have a take.
I think I just got run.
Yeah, the dismissive thank you, Fritzy. You don't want to get that. I think sometimes we'll give that to McLovin or the other guys once in a while, but I think I'm definitely the leader in that, and rightfully so to a certain extent. So I don't know if I'd rather have him just say nothing or have some kind of front row sound effect take place.
There's a little bit of a context problem with that clip right there, because standing on its own, it actually doesn't seem like a bad comment at all, where you're like, yeah, that does kind of annoy me. The problem is that Dan had just spent the last minute and a half to 2 minutes saying exactly that. And then Fritzy opened up his mic to just basically repeat verbatim what Dan had just been saying. So that's probably where the issue came in.
I paraphrased a little bit, but I guess Dan, for the most part, covered that, and I felt the need to reiterate that and keep my Captain Obvious title intact.
If you showed a video of a man walking a dog right now, Todd would come out of that and say, there you go, there was a man walking a dog, and that was interesting that the dog had a leash and a collar, and the man was walking it.
I agree with Seton. I like the take. I thought it was a good take about soccer, and a lot of people are bothered by that. But I would love for that to be thrown out there first, whether it be in the morning meeting or just, hey, here's something I got a problem with. What do you guys think of this?
There are lots of topics today. The topic of playing pool, which led to bowling, which led back to the World Cup. Let's see how you guys managed to do all that.
I have 2 bowling shirts. Neither have my name on. One says like Ned.
Yeah. Yes, Fritzy.
Did you have a nickname or a logo on your bowling ball
They
bag?
just called me Dildo.
Just call it.
Yeah.
Did you what about one of those wrist things to keep your wrist straight?
My Brazilian soccer name.
If you were wearing that jersey at a soccer match, would women be more likely to gravitate toward you or away from you?
I could just see it if I'm at the bar. If they whisper to their friend who they're taking home.
That was a lot of fun. I thought that whole segment was really good. One thing I kept whispering into Dan's ears, whenever he said my soccer nickname is Dildo, I said, you have to set that up. You have to set that up. And tell that there's this website where you can input your name and it translates into a Brazilian soccer name. So every time, half an hour later, let's say a bunch of new people are in their car and they just tune in, hey, my name's Dildo, and they hear Dan Patrick, that's a little bit out of context.
Well, that's and super racy for us. I mean, we would never say dildo on the air unless it now has this context which somehow makes it okay. But we probably said dildo, I don't know how many times.
If you include the past 2 times you and I said dildo, it would be 25 times today.
I don't think I've said it once. I can't say it. I don't like saying it.
I love saying it.
I'll say Paulie's name, Pildo, no problem.
Well, you know what? Well, McClellan's got a point, though. There's things that we didn't just use this word in its normal context out of nowhere. It was something that happened in a sports umbrella. They were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this actually happened. We didn't create this to be racy and be cool. It actually happened. So if you frame it with the Brazilian soccer website, then I think it's okay. If someone just decided to use that word in a joke out of nowhere on the show, I'd be upset with that. I'd be bothered by that.
Well, you frame it in the World Cup, and there was World Cup talk today, and Dan says he can't seem to shake the wrath of these soccer snobs. Paulie, why did you feel the need to come to Dan's defense on this?
Because I was in the same boat as Dan. When I was in high school, I liked soccer, but it was only on every 4 years on ABC or whatever. There was never any soccer, so I wouldn't consider myself a fan. Around 2000, I tried to become a real fan, and anytime I would talk about soccer, there's this guy I used to work with who actually produces Mike and Mike's show. His name's Liam. He's a good dude. He was very nice to me about soccer. He would correct me, but in a nice way. I would say, the field, he'd be like, they call it the pitch over there. But he didn't do it as a jerk. And other people have done it, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know this team from that team. And at the time, I didn't. But Liam taught me some things about soccer I didn't know, but he did it in a nice way.
If you said to a football fan, like an American football fan, that the Patriots lost to the Dolphins 14-21.
Ooh.
You'd kind of be like, dude, what are you saying? But for some reason, it doesn't feel like we're as nasty about it.
Well, but then, I have friends who I've got a couple buddies who are British, and they don't know NFL that well, and they say, when the guy kicks it through the field goal, I go, no, he doesn't kick it through the field goal. He kicks a field goal. It's the field goal post.
Through the field goal.
And I try to correct them in a nice way, but I snicker when they say, when he kicks it through the field goal.
You try to correct like Cesar Millan with the positive energy. Coming up, the boss plays Dog Whisperer with one of the Danettes.
I have a suggestion for you folks at DirecTV. How about a new influx of talent? I mean, for 3 hours a day, we get the Danettes talking, and it's enough already. I mean, it's not like they are background in the show. They're front and center in the Dan Patrick Show. When I'm filling in, Paulie, he's always interrupting me. Seaton, he's always talking over me. Herloff's always disagreeing with me. And Fritzy's always chiming in with those creepy comments. More to the point, you've got a host, Brock? What kind of name is that? Who is Brock? I've never heard of this guy. So if I'm DirecTV, I want to bring in some new talent and see if we can get something better going for that time slot.
Welcome back to the box score. Thanks a lot, Mannix, you jerk. It's called a bump. My God. Do we still have enough time? We do? Just a little? Okay. Guys, David Robinson joined the show in the first hour, and when asked, he said he would start a team with Tim Duncan over Michael Jordan. Paulie, do you find that surprising?
Yeah, it was. Yes and no, because he's a Spur, and he also still lives in San Antonio, and his bread is buttered by being a Spur. But I can't see how you make that argument even if you're backing your guy, Tim Duncan. I think unless he really believes it, which if he really believes it is, he's David Robinson, he knows more basketball than I do, but he's factually wrong.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, you're like, Duncan's too boring to even be in that conversation. Even if Duncan was better, I would still start my team with Jordan any day.
I agree with Paul. With the bread being buttered and being concerned, you don't want to start making all kinds of local and national headlines about how you dissed your own guy that you won a title with. But yeah, I don't see how you could possibly not take Michael Jordan. I think he went with the safe one on national TV and radio and picked his San Antonio Spurs team.
Wait, are you just doing what you did in the show today, where you're just restating an argument?
Well, I'm
30 seconds ago?
I'm just giving my opinion. It's sort of what Paulie said, but I don't think it was verbatim. We'll have to play that.
You really added a lot.
It's all timing, buddy.
We asked the boss if he had to go off and start a new show and take only one of you, who would he take? Let's see what he said in today's edition of Boss's Thoughts.
I guess Seton, because I got to get on the air. And since he runs all the equipment, I think he's capable of being a producer. He might not be a good booker. He's always got a contrasting opinion to mine, which is always sometimes good. So I'd say Seton would be who I'd build this show around. This is not to be used in negotiations for contracts, by the way. This is just hypothetical and at times pathetical, but I'm just saying this is not to be used against me in contract negotiations.
I don't know. I know he's saying it's not to be used in contracts, but I think he pretty much just cashed my check for me. So thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
Is anybody bothered by that?
I happen to know Seton was standing right next to him because I walked up at the end of that and I see Seton going like this, pumping it. So I was hoping that maybe Dan caught Seton in his eye and that jumped into his head. But that's how Dan feels, Nothing we can do about it.
If you're not broadcasted on the air, you're talking to yourself. So I can definitely appreciate it. And then Seton does stir it up with a lot of contradictory comments, and Dan obviously likes that. He's not looking for yes men. So that combination of alternate viewpoints and being able to actually get Dan on the air to the world, it's hard to argue against that.
It's that kind of confidence that makes Dan consider other people than Seton. Jesus.
With the shot.
I think, no, you know what, though? I'll say that I do think, I think that Dan is making the right pick, obviously, because I think I'm probably the best producer in the building. I think the only thing that I can't do is I'm not good in the chair like Paul is. Paul is, outstanding for this 3 hours that he's working with Dan, and that's the one thing, and that sense of comfort that he gives Dan is definitely the one thing I can't do. But other than that, I'm pretty confident that I could do just about everything.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I wouldn't say can't do, but it's like anything else. You have to have reps to do it. If I left here today, you could slide over to the chair and you would get used to it, and you already know things that we all do, and that it's a job that anyone could do to certain levels. But it is. You got to be able to do a lot of things here. Some things are not more important than others, but just are used at different times of day. From 9 to noon Eastern, one thing is needed before the show, after the show. Other things are needed, so everyone's irreplaceable. Other thing I think is age. I mean, I think Satan's 8 years younger than me. So if you look at that, it's just like any other product of business. You're going to take a younger guy with abilities over maybe a guy who's a little bit older with abilities because of the shelf life.
You just called me Satan.
Satan.
You hear that Freudian slip? Satan.
McLovin, we're pretty sure why you weren't picked. The boss was trying to show Dan Nation the newest T-shirt, and then you got shooed away like a dog.
Wait, I just put it.
Well, people can't see it.
I just was showing it to let people see what it was.
I haven't seen it yet.
I do this for a living. I'm an interior decorator.
Okay, let's see a reveal.
I'm gonna do this right now. Okay. So no, you're not sitting down.
My guy.
So I have to stand.
Your microphone's not on. You're goofing around with it. Get out of here!
I have to stand?
Get!
That's ridiculous.
Go! Get!
That's how I talk to my dog.
Go!
Get. Yeah.
Ruby, get!
Go!
Ruby!
Go!
Yeah, I still think I had a logical point. What I didn't understand was Dan did not want me to sit down and do my job, which apparently he doesn't value very highly anyway, so it all works out. But I wasn't really trying to, I was trying to give the shirt a better view because I'm like, I honestly was pricking ahead. I'm like, how are people going to see the shirt if I'm sitting on it? That's how my mind worked. But Dan is very particular about how things are laid out. That's true. Very particular.
He would have been fantastic at the Gap.
Yeah. Oh my God. In fact, even moving it an inch, I thought he was going to punch me right there. I honestly felt like I could insult his entire family. He would not care. Wouldn't blink an eye. But if I take a shirt and move it 6 inches, it's go time.
It's like Joe Don Baker and Joe Dirt. Get scat! Paulie, since McLovin ruined the reveal, can you please model that for us and tell us how people might get a hold of a t-shirt like that?
Well, that's funny you asked. It's www.danpatrick.com. That's www.danpatrick.com. It's a great shirt. I'm really excited about it. I love when we have graphics over it so you can't see it. And it's really cool. You know, I'm a big fan of Landon Donovan. I'm a big fan of nut humor, and I'm a big fan of myself. Put them together, boom, Jed's a millionaire.
Well, hopefully they're available in XXX because a lot of us like to eat. Coming up, which Danette would be delicious with fava beans? The Box Score presents Great Moments in DP Show History. Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History. Welcome back to the Box Score. Fritzy, was that the last time you ran that fast?
Yeah, that's about as fast as I go when you're being chased by someone in a tiger costume. That's about as quick as it gets. I wish I could say I was jogging or walking fast, but that's as quick as it goes for me.
Well, there's no doubt you would be a tasty morsel for a tiger, so that got us thinking. You guys were stuck up in the Alps, and you needed to survive. Which Danette would you eat? I think this is a perfect opportunity to play.
No! Your
Let's begin in the back row. McLovin, which Danette looks most tasty to Fritzy?
Oh my gosh. Well, nobody's gonna pick me. I'm kind of stringy. I think so. It's a Seton and Paulie conversation.
So easy.
I think Paulie's delicious to Fritzy. I think he didn't. And probably Fritzy would enjoy seeing Paulie dead on some level.
He didn't eat me. He just enjoyed the death part.
What do you love, killing and eating Paulie?
I would eat Seton first. I think he's got some muscle on him from his marathon days. He's an athlete, and I think I'd notch on Seton. Yeah, it was a tough decision, but ultimately I went Seton. Got some young meat, and I don't know how much description I should go beyond that without it becoming really uncomfortable.
Fritzy, can I ask you a question? If you ate Seton, who's ensconced in tattoos, would you still be able to be buried in a Jewish cemetery?
That's a fair question. That's something I'd have to go over with my rabbi. I don't think that counts. I think you can eat tattoos.
I can pretty much assure that I'm not kosher, by the way.
Only on Tuesday. Front row, Seton. Who do you think Paulie picked a nibble on?
Jeepers creepers. Oh, boy. Well, the most wing-like. I'm going to say Andrew. I think he'd eat Andrew.
Would he eat Andrew?
I'm going to go Seton. Fritzy's a little too, I hate to say this, fatty for me. McLovin, on the other hand, too lean. Maybe he works out a little too much. Seems kind of in between. He's kind of like a beer marinated, nice lean piece of meat.
Yeah, I know Seton's food intake,
Intimately.
Intimately. It's going to probably taste like wing sauce. Maybe it's like an Irish breakfast. It's going to be fantastic. Fritzy, and McLovin, too lean, way too lean. I mean, there's no calories there.
2 for 2 at the other Danette's eating me.
Yeah. I mean, we don't choose to.
Welcome back to Bizarre Foods. Back to Fritzy. Who did McLovin find the most mouth-watering?
I'm going to say McLovin went with Paulie, and I don't have a great explanation as to why, but Seton's already 2 for 2, so somehow this can't be a total runaway for us all eating Seton, so I'm going to say Paulie.
What's eating Seton?
Was it Paulie?
Wow, okay, if I'm stranded and hungry, this is gonna come off as super mean, but I assume Todd weighs the most out of Paulie and Seton, so I would have to go Todd because he'd last longer. Sorry, buddy.
Last
Technically true. And you get your own desk.
You do get the whole desk.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's an added bonus.
It's
Sorry,
a couple
buddy.
pluses there.
Hey, I also think you'd be delicious, as a matter
Thank
of
you.
fact.
All right, as long as we can add a little something in there, it's not a total loss.
Soaked with soy sauce.
You kept me up when you're
And
preparing
finally, Paulie, who did Seton pick to chow down on?
I think he's going to pick me for similar reasons. Seton knows my diet. He likes wings. He's a big meat eater these days. He used to be a vegetarian, no longer. He knows I drink good beers and rums. And plus, he'd have the whole desk to himself.
Was it Paulie?
It's not Fritzy. Because I feel like he's unhealthy. I'm going to eat Andrew McLovin Perloff, because he's the one who eats healthiest. You know, Paulie's right in that I was thinking about, well, Paulie's, it's going to be all barbecue and wing sauce and some beer mixed in there. But then I thought, it's like a nice grass-fed steak. That's Andrew. Yeah. He's sort of, a little quinoa thrown in there and some kale, and that's pretty much as good as it gets for me.
I'm organic.
You're right, he's a little
I'm an
more
organic Danette.
a little more green.
You pay $1 extra when you
hopefully
eat.
I can get a nice red wine to go with him. And
sorry, guys. Nobody won. No one got anything right, so at least you know who wants to eat each other. Paulie, a few weeks ago, no Danette chose you to sleep in the same bed with, and now no one wants to eat you. What does that say about you?
Never been happier. Physical contact, emotional contact, not my favorite things. This is, let's do this again tomorrow and come up with who would like to talk to me for an hour straight.
I don't know about physical contact. I think we have something that shows the contrary here. Oh, delicious. And a little barbecue sauce off
emotional
of
and physical right there.
Yeah, I think that shows a lot about me, though. I love food. I respect food, and I won't let it go to waste, no matter what it's placed on.
So you'll eat off Fritzy, but you won't eat Fritzy.
Well,
That's
fair enough.
interesting.
Correct.
It was adjacent to the trash. Coming up, Fritzy's blood pressure is going to go through the roof. Look out.
Introducing the new Cactus Cooler Jack Link's Fritos Chicken Enchilada Melt at Subway.
Wait a minute, brother. The Jack Links goes on the sub? Really?
One bite and you can't resist.
I love the crunch. But where does the Cactus Cooler go? It's the whole enchilada covered with Cactus Cooler and Jack Link's beef jerky. You have to taste it to believe it, brother. Crunch a bunch of Fritos on myself. Hi! Subway, it's fresh.
Welcome back to the box score. That looks absolutely delicious. But guys, we have some more tasty morsels for you this segment. Earlier, you were checking out the beautiful women of Brazil, so we wanted to check out each of your taste. You have your scorecards, so let's rate these beauties from South America. Let's roll out the fans. Check her out. What do you give the Virgin Mary? Scores, please.
Wow.
Cinco from
Religious,
Fritzy.
I gotta go 10.
I'm not rating her. This is wrong. We can't rate her. She looks like a... No, fine.
Yeah, you can't rate her with a bikini on.
Fritzy, why only a 5?
She's not showing anything, and she's all covered up, and whatever figure she's trying to be a portray, that's not the place to get dressed up.
Plus
as
the Catholic
religious
thing.
figure. It's all about the bikinis and thongs and things like that. So you might as well stay home if you're going to just cover everything up.
Yeah, take it off. It's like spring break for you. Next up, let's see the second World Cup fan. Ooh, cups at the cup. Guys, what do you think of this stunner?
Let's see.
Well, we got an Ocho.
We go 5.
Oh, Paulie, you went low on this one. Why is that?
Mostly because this one has wing sauce on it. I'm just getting a little bit, just put a little hair, But yeah, she's, for Brazil, she's a 5. For most of the other countries, she's like an 8.5.
Okay, well, let's beef it up a little bit, shall we? Third on our list. Oh, yes, and I'm a big fan. Gentlemen, what do you think of this Brazilian beauty?
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting some mess and some Seton, you gave her a 9. Is it the hat?
Yeah. They're really all a 9 or a 10, actually, and I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit, even though this is my second 9. They're all pretty much about as perfect as it gets. This is my wheelhouse.
All right, that's the benchmark. So let's give them the final entry into all this. Oh, yes, there we are. It's no secret. Beautiful Adriana Lima. Gentlemen, Fritzy, oh my goodness, are you all right? Fritzy, hey buddy.
We lost Fritzy. He's gone.
Fritzy's gonna go get a Brazilian after the show.
He's verklempt. He's verklempt.
He just gave her
McLovin, since Fritzy seems to be a little bit stunned, and so Seton, who's on tomorrow, McLovin? Can you tell us, please?
Actor, comedian Kevin Hart and NFL Network's Rich Eisen.
Oh, way to go there, Fritzy. Oh, just breathe, buddy. Thanks for watching The Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!